So you have a target,
Yes.
and I always start with two questions, one being the suds and the other being, when did it happen?
Um, Honestly, I can't remember the age. Specifically, I know that it was 4 years. I mean, older than 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, I know I was probably a teenager.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I honestly I don't know the specific age
And
when I was.
how disturbing is it now?
Um, I would say probably like an
An 8.
8 or 9. Yeah.
So here's a trick question. It's an 8 or 9. That means to me you sort of relive it when you think of it.
Yes.
And how old do you feel as you relive it?
I mean, 10
Yeah,
seems to come to mind, but
good.
again, I don't know.
We're gonna, since we have no evidence to the contrary, we're gonna take that as fact.
Okay.
So it happened when you were 10.
Mhm.
And give me just a little detail about what the nature of the trauma is or was.
My father.
And he, is this involved violence or just disappointment or?
Um, no, it's a medical condition.
Oh, okay. So this is your father being diagnosed with that condition, or you see him suffering with that condition?
Yeah, I see him suffering.
Okay, so you have an image.
Yep. And how I found
Okay.
him.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah,
discovered,
in this particular situation, yes.
yeah,
And it was in winter.
yeah. So, when someone tells me they have a clear image, um, I usually, whether I'm doing flash or EMDR, I just expect it to resolve. Um, so, do you have a PEF?
Can I go with the same one that I did at like the general training we did 2 weeks ago? Because it worked really well.
Okay, let me just look in the rule book whether that's acceptable.
The
Yeah,
whole issue is the PEF has to be distracting, so it can be
Okay.
either you can change it every time if that works for you, or you can use the
if it's
same
still
one.
alive, let's use it.
It's
Go
still
for it.
it's yep, it's good. It's good.
I
Okay,
can see that.
yeah. So go ahead and tap and tell me about the PEF, and periodically I'll say flash.
Okay. My grandmother, on my dad's side, but it's
Mhm.
not related in a bad way.
Yeah, yeah.
So not related to the incident or anything. Um, this grandmother lived through the Depression.
Uh,
So I think a lot of her characteristics kind of shine through that, just kind of experiencing that.
uh,
Um,
flash.
she, um,
Do
the
it like this
home,
really fast. Oh, that's
okay.
great.
Um, I grew up in a very small town, and her house was her and my grandfather's house. Um,
Flash. So you
uh,
just saw the house, right?
well, so yes, I just saw the house,
Uh-huh.
and
Flash.
it was only a couple blocks away from my school.
Uh-huh.
And so when I was old enough, I could walk to grandma and grandpa's house, either
Oh,
like
cool.
after school or
Uh,
if there was a delay or if I spent the
flash.
night. And
Great.
a lot of times I just wanted to go to grandma's.
Flash.
Oh, sorry, that we stopped. Okay.
And was it your grandparents that made it so attractive, or did you just like the feeling in the house?
Um, I liked the house itself, but probably because of the experiences with them.
Flash.
Yeah.
Like what?
So usually when you would arrive, first thing grandma would ask you is if you were hungry. And it didn't
Flash.
matter if you just said, Grandma, I just had a sandwich. I just had lunch at school.
She wants to
And
feed you something.
she needed to feed you something.
Flash.
And so then she would say, well, let me see what I have. I know I have some ham in here.
Right.
And she called the refrigerator the ice box.
So take a break. And now just without thinking of any details, just check in with the memory you started with and see if you notice any change.
Okay.
What do you notice? What's different, if anything?
Maybe just a slight decrease in the somatic symptoms.
But the image is just as clear and vivid.
It is clear. I still have initial shock and fear emotions.
Just go back to your grandparents.
Okay. So I always liked that she would be deep in the back of the ice box, as she would say.
Flash.
And she would just start pulling out, well, I made some ham. I could make you some gravy, and it would be the gravy, that's the powder Watkins in the good old days. And you finally had to just eat something to appease
Make her happy. Flash.
And
I bet she just lived for feeding you.
Yeah. And I know that was the love language, I think. But
Flash.
and we like later I understood more with living through the depression. They saved literally everything.
Oh yeah, flash.
Foil, the twisty ties. There was like they washed the Ziploc bags out that they used.
Yeah.
And they reused them.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Flash.
And there's pictures of and I remember a little bit of this, that my grandparents liked to swing dance. And they would listen to would put the radio on, and they would
the big bands.
Yeah, and they would like twirl me around
Flash
in the living room.
So that sounds great.
Yeah.
Flash.
And that house was where we gathered as a family, like every holiday.
Right.
So the house itself was very, very important.
So take a break, and again, check in with the memory and see if you notice any change.
I noticed the image in the feeling of shock and fear almost becoming fuzzy.
Yeah.
So it's not clear. It's a little bit more fuzzier.
Yeah. Okay. Back to your grandparents.
Okay.
So there must have been a lot of food in the holidays.
There was a lot of food. And my grandma referred to my grandfather as Daddy. And when they were older, my grandfather was losing his hearing, and so a lot of times grandma would be in the other room, Daddy, Daddy. So
Flash.
So oftentimes I would try and be the mediator if I was there.
Yeah. Flash.
Go get Grandpa.
Yeah.
His attention.
Flash.
But yeah, that was probably my most memorable thing when I talk about grandma, is that she just had to feed you. You just had to, she had to make sure that you weren't withering away.
Flash. But she also had to show her love.
Yeah. And when I moved away to college, I called her on my cell phone, and she just could not believe how clear I sounded on the phone.
Flash. I had that same thing.
And I can't believe it. You sound so good on the phone. You're so far away.
You seem so close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Flash.
she just couldn't believe it. And she got a
Yeah.
kick out of that when I called her.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that was before the days of Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. And they had the rotor telephone.
Yeah,
If you made a mistake, you had to start all over again.
right, Flash.
So
Yeah. And everybody was so concerned about long distance calls because they cost so much.
yeah. Yeah.
Flash.
And she was the quintessential church lady. She would
Yeah.
have quilting group on like Wednesdays or something like that. She would drive up with the ladies.
Yeah, Flash.
And she would pack sandwiches. She would make sandwiches, and then they would have that up at the group. And I remember when I was little, I would go, like if I wouldn't have school or something,
Yeah,
she would take me along, and I would be up there with the ladies, and
yeah, Flash.
she would pack me a sandwich.
Yeah. So take a break. And without thinking about any details, just see if you notice any change.
So I noticed almost that he was laying down in the snow, and so I almost see him disappearing.
Huh.
That's very odd, but so I still see the snow, but I almost
Mhm.
see the body almost disappearing.
Yeah. So how disturbing is it now to think of that memory?
I would say like a 4.
Uh-huh. And what stands out now that makes it as much as a 4?
Just the fact that if I didn't happen to find him, that he
That
probably would have died.
would have been tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is disturbing?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I heard sounds up in my bedroom, and I didn't know what they were.
And you went down and checked.
And I saw him.
So you were a heroine.
Well, I don't know about that.
Mm.
But and so that has stayed with me. That kind of that what if.
Kind of what if, yeah. That's interesting that the what if stays with you, but not the, wow, I really saved the day.
Yeah. Because he was pretty much lifeless due to how low he was. Yeah.
Yeah. So go back to your grandparents.
And I was just talking to someone the other day that my grandfather, his dad came over to the stateside, and he spoke full German. My grandfather said that he knew German, but towards the end of his life, when I was asking questions about that, he didn't remember any German anymore.
Yeah.
But he talked about having the horses with the plow on the farm.
Wow.
And talking German with his dad.
Flash.
So, yeah, I always thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah. So these are positive memories. Flash.
And one thing that I always thought was cool is that no matter how old we got, because I remember doing it even in my teen years, is that grandma would sit and color with me with crayons in a coloring book.
Flash.
So even as a little
girl, have
girl,
any of those pictures?
I don't think we do, but I remember her and I would sit, and no matter how old we got, if I asked her to color, she'd sit down and color with me.
Flash.
Yeah.
And was she sitting next to you or across the way?
Yeah, I think we sat at their vintage table, and it
Yeah.
was the, that real, I don't know, it's that vintage style table that you would see in the 50s. And I
Flash.
see him every once in a while, and I want one really bad, but of course I don't
Yeah.
have anywhere to put it in my house. But
Well, I'm sorry if I've kind of projected on this, but when I think of a vintage table, I'm thinking kitchen and I'm thinking metal legs and
yes,
kind of formica
yes,
top.
that's what it
Uh-huh.
is. It looked
Okay.
like it had like sparkles on the top.
Yeah, that's right.
See 'em,
Coming through.
sometimes they're yellow,
Right.
sometimes they're silver, and
Yeah.
I don't, I think they might have had, I think they had 2.
Flash.
They had a silver, and then they had like a yellow one.
Uh-huh.
And so we
Yeah.
would sit in either one of those.
Yeah.
And they had just this drawer that you pulled out, and the crayons were in the
Flash.
kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that when I was little, I remember little, and then even as a high schooler, when I'd go over there after school to see
Yeah.
them, if I asked, I'm like, can we color? And sure
Flash.
enough, she would say
Yeah.
she would color with me. Grandpa
Pull it
wouldn't.
out.
He'd be listening to AM radio.
Yeah.
So, but he would.
On a radio the size of a dresser.
That would be in the living room, but this one was a very small
Oh,
little
small one.
gray one. Yeah.
Yeah. Flash.
Yeah.
So take a break. And again, without thinking of any details, just check in and see if you notice further change.
I'm just, I guess, more mindset that it's positive, that it's not necessarily a negative blanket anymore.
Yeah.
So my mindset is that it's just a blanket of positive.
Huh.
That yes, this did happen, but thankfully it got resolved, that I found him and
Yeah.
we
And it
got
all
him
worked
okay.
out.
So that it's a positive blanket across it, not that what if.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saved his
Yeah.
life.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, not that what if anymore.
Yeah.
And that
So,
negative
right.
connotation.
So 0 to 10, how disturbing is it now?
I'm bouncing between a 1 and a 2. It's kind
Okay.
of hard.
And what is coming up that is making it disturbing?
I'm not exactly sure.
So how do you know it's disturbing?
I have somatic symptoms like in my chest, like a pulling sensation, like a tugging.
Okay. And was that there when you started?
Yes and no. It's kind of been intermediate. Like I said, I would have kind of some somatic symptoms.
So it wasn't the prominent feature.
No.
And now you kind of take everything else away and there that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm torn between doing another set of flash or doing a set of EMDR type BLS. If this were,
I think I know now. Once I just kind of really reflect, I think I know what it is.
You know what it represents, you mean?
I think I do. Yeah.
But you still feel it.
I feel it now, so I think I need to do a process of it.
Talk some more about your grandmother. I mean, your grandparents' house.
Okay. They drove this, I don't even know what year it was, but they had this till they passed, this little gray coupe or something. I don't know what it was,
Flash.
but it We were scared for them to drive it. Like, it ran till the day, like, it died, literally.
Yeah, flash.
Um, and, when I do go home, I still like to go past their house, and
Yeah,
because I
flash.
don't live, in the town I grew up currently, but,
Yeah,
I do like to drive past their home.
yeah,
So I
flash.
just see it.
Yeah.
Good
My
memory.
grandfather, driving was part of his job. He used to sell newspapers by the subway entrance,
Mhm.
and so he had a station wagon, and it was an Etzel station wagon.
Okay.
And do you know what an Etzel is?
I think so. Is
Etzel,
that
Etzel is the name of one of the women in the Ford family, and
okay?
they named the car after her, and it
That's
only lasted, I think, about 1 or 2 years or three, and they did away with the Etzel because it wasn't selling. So there were hardly any of them around. But my grandfather had one, and
oh,
he had the station wagon. And there were no station wagon Etzels around. People used to roll down
Flash.
their windows and yell to him, "Hey, is your car for sale?" Flash. But I love driving around in my grandfather's Etzel because it got so much attention.
oh, wow. That is really neat. I really like the
Flash.
vintage. I think love for, and of course, people would probably argue, well, what do you consider vintage? I think probably because of my experience with my grandparents, both sides, but because, like I said, when I see the table that looks like grandma and grandpa's tables,
Uh-huh.
I just want one, but listen, I don't have anywhere to put
No
one.
place for it.
No.
Flash. Yeah,
Um,
those are the days.
yeah. I did get some dishes, and
Uh-huh.
stuff from her and, depression glass from her.
Yeah, yeah, flash.
So,
Were
yep.
those the red dishes and the
Yep,
uh,
and I have pretty pink I have pretty pink,
yes,
um,
flash. And
so
they used to come in Tide boxes.
oh, wow.
So you bought a box of Tide, and the first thing you did was open it up and get the glass out.
Wow.
Flash, carnival glass, they called it.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
mhm. So
flash.
the last few years, I've really been collecting things that not necessarily for the value of it, but if I just think it looks
The
really
memories.
cool. Yeah, if it just I was like, "Oh, that looks really cool," and then I'll research it.
Yeah, flash.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so
you do the flea markets.
yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
or I mean, it just if I come across something and it
Yeah,
just like,
flash.
"Oh, wow." I came across, this, Fisher Price rolling bear toy, and I think it was dated in the '50s.
Right.
And it's missing its arms, but you can roll it across the floor, and it
Right.
still has the jingle, it makes the sound and everything, and
Flash.
it's been loved,
Uh-huh.
but I just thought it was so cool,
Great.
and yeah, it had the date and everything on it.
So take a break, check in, see if you notice any further change.
Yeah, I feel much better. Yeah,
Mm.
I think I've got it down to a 0.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Good.
yep.
So I don't think we have time to do an installation, but if we did, that's what I would do.
Hmm.
And in order to do that, first thing I do is find out the most important thing you learn from doing this process, something you learned about yourself.
Well, I mean, this particular process and this particular processing, I
Mhm.
kind of went into it, and of course, like as a clinician and doing the flash before, I don't know why, but I was like, "Oh, I for sure know it's this." And it's
I
you
I know what?
know.
I for sure know. I didn't hear.
I for sure know that it's this,
Oh, it's
and this is
this.
what I have to like, this is what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like the image because every time I think of it, it's
Yeah.
this. And again, a theme came up when it was still tugging, and then I just kind of sat there for a minute, and then I'm like, oh, but the feelings, like the
Yeah.
feelings and the
Mm.
okay, that's what I need to kind of work on. And all right. So,
So were you working on it when you were talking about your grandmother, or no?
no, it just, I it came up the burden of responsibility.
Mm.
And that's what kind of clicked with me and that I still needed to work on
Mm.
is and not accepting that positivity that even you guys were saying that like, wow, you did a great job, but I couldn't, I can't take that because I
Mhm.
felt it was a burden that I have to constantly look after dad,
Mhm.
like you
Mhm.
know, type of deal. So, um, I think that was kind of a real changer.
Mm.
I thought, well, this is it. This is what I need to focus on. But then that theme came up and I
Mm.
wouldn't have even thought of that, which you hear a lot, but
Mm. So it doesn't feel like a burden any longer.
no, not in that particular incident. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for
Thank you.
demonstrating this.
Thank you very much. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.